Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Zach.
Hey, everybody, this is Sawyer. Welcome to the Come On podcast. We're really glad you're joining us.
So come on and join us in the trenches.
Come on.
It's nice whenever you're fishing and stuff, I guess. But
Yeah. After probably, I don't know, what would you say? Like somewhere in July, it's like, all right,
I'm done.
done. Like
Yeah.
4th of July, and then it's like, okay, we can jump to September or so. No.
I'm kind of big, so I just sweat all the time, and so like there isn't clothing I can wear. Like I can wear shorts. I'll wear like athletic shorts or whatever, and like a t-shirt, and I'll sweat through that. You know, like there's nothing that I can wear that I'm just like. And I can't stand sweating because like my biggest pet peeve is I hate feeling nasty. I hate feeling not clean.
Yeah.
And so, ugh.
That's like when you sweat and then you got to go inside somewhere. That's that's my least favorite thing. I'd rather just sweat all day and then go straight to home and get cleaned
shower.
up.
Yeah. No, if I'm at a job and like I know I'm going to get dirty and get sweaty, I don't want to go to another job after it and have to go inside somewhere. Like yesterday we had to go change out some GFIs in a house, and it was this like mom and this little girl in there, and I was having to like walk around them, and I know I was smelling right. It was funny, but no, awesome. I'm ready for hoodie weather. Come back.
Yeah, I like that because I like hunting, so that's really why. But cool weather. I don't like it when it gets super cold though. I do for hunting, but I mean for working purposes, I'd rather it like on the weekend get real cold than work days get just be cool.
I like when I'm working and I can't feel my fingers. I like whenever my nose is numb. I love when it's cold.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Well, it is currently 5:41 in the morning.
I know.
It is early. But I don't feel tired.
No, I don't either. I'm up.
You don't seem tired.
Which I guess we got revival this week, and that's why we're doing it early in the morning instead of the evening like normal.
It's going to hit us about 7 o'clock tonight at revival. We're going to be sitting in revival, and it's going to hit us.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm going to text you.
Yeah. Wow. Episode 23.
It's crazy. So it's far. Okay. I'm trying to think of in comparison to a year.
About halfway there.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah. Okay.
A little less.
Mm-hmm.
But that's awesome.
I know.
I mean, it doesn't even seem, it seems like literally not that long ago to me. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah. I was thinking about that this morning. That's cool.
You come up with this as you can share it if you want to, or I will.
Well, we titled it "Selfish or Living
Sacrificially, a self-centered culture."
I was gonna get them mixed up. Yeah, living sacrificially in a self-centered culture.
Yep.
And how difficult that is, and how not common that is.
Yeah.
You want to kick it off?
Yeah, it's definitely not normal. So the first thing note here is we're just bombarded with messages about really what success looks like, which is worldly success.
Mm-hmm.
Just all this stuff, all the message. If you just scroll through your social media, every other post is going to be about how you can be a millionaire or how you need this or you need that.
Yep.
You don't see much about, hey, we need help, and if you do it, it doesn't get very much traction.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's and one of my things was we've talked about this several times, but the AirPod thing, iPod. That's old.
Wow.
Pulling my AirPods out, and you've been listening to them long enough.
Yeah.
That like literally is exactly what that was. Guy was saying to me is like, you got to quit listening to those people. And it's kind of like a wake up call because I already knew that, but I didn't. It's that thing where your head's just right here from your heart, but
Yep.
you got to get them connected.
Connect
Because
them.
I knew that. I just didn't have it.
Yeah.
I just wasn't doing it, you know. So
Yeah. It's hard to put that into practice.
yeah.
The first a passage that comes to mind whenever I think of, selfishness or our culture, obviously we're like statistically we're the most narcissistic society ever. And it's pretty pathetic. I heard a pastor say one time, like, it's so common now that it's the most normal thing for somebody to have an entire page dedicated to themselves.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
and we just think that's normal, and I'm not saying like if you have a Facebook you're going to hell, like that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying like it's just crazy how like normal that is, like, and if you really like sit back and think about it, like, man, like, I mean that's you literally have an entire website dedicated to you.
That's crazy.
And 2 Timothy chapter 3 verses 1 and 2. And this entire chapter right here is titled Godlessness in the Last Days. Verse 1. But understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty. Okay, so in the last days it's going to be really difficult. Here's why. For people will be lovers of self. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
You'll love yourself. Lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy. And then it keeps going. But I just thought that was interesting that he prefaces the chapter by saying it's going to be really, really difficult in the last days. And then the first thing he says is you're going to love yourself.
Yeah.
And that kind of, culturally, everybody thinks like, well, duh, you want to love yourself. The Bible says love your neighbor as you love yourself, and I think the gap there is I don't think we have any problem loving ourselves,
Yeah. No. No, we're I never thought about the Facebook page thing like that.
And that's a blanket statement. Like I don't want it to seem like I'm just condemning you for having a Facebook, but I mean, like, that's something to think about for sure. Is like, man, like, you really, it just, I guess I'm just pointing out like how normal it is. You wake up and you think about what do I want? What's best for me? And that's everyone does that.
Yeah.
And God, Jesus tells us to care for the widows and the orphans. Like we're supposed to. The first will be last, and the last will be 1st. Like we're supposed to be servants. We're supposed to love everyone, and we're so self-centered. Like I'm all about Sawyer. I'm all about what I want.
Yeah.
I don't,
naturally that way. Like it's and it's. Again, everything just like Facebook. You can use. I've done that every time now.
Punching the mic.
Yeah, you can use your Facebook page for, to post all your trips and every little thing. You got a new car and, all this stuff. But like, or you could use it for good.
Yeah.
And build use it. You can use it as a platform for good. So I see both sides. Majority of the time, though, people post their new cars and stuff like that, and like, man, blessed and highly favored. I got this new car, and not that new cars are bad, whatever. But I'm just, using that like we're so self-centered. Like, look at me, and I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a good thought.
Yeah, and I mean, we can. Because it's literally every single day, every day I think about myself more than I think about anyone. My feelings get hurt whenever someone does this to me. I feel like I deserve to be spoken to like this. I feel like I deserve this amount of money on my paycheck. I feel like I deserve this for lunch today. You know, it just all like it just consumes me. You know, and then you look, and when you look at Christians, you know, the word Christian means, well, I don't know exactly what I think Christ-like. I mean,
it's
you know,
Christian.
little Christ, or
Yeah.
you know, you're supposed to
Little
mimic,
Christ-like one.
yeah, Jedi. You're supposed to mimic what Jesus did, and I mean, you read any of the Gospels. I mean, his entire life was just a sacrifice. He was just a absolute servant.
Yeah.
And he didn't care what people thought about him. He didn't walk around, you know, saying, you know, y'all quit trying to chunk rocks at me. Or, you know, I deserve to be, you know, treated like this, or, you know, none of that. None of that. He didn't. And
he actually told people not to tell others at times what happened.
What he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though what he did was stinking awesome.
Yeah. I like, made me think of last night, the message
that was
of
good,
Judas.
by the way. That was really good.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said, you know, or thinking about that. So he's talking to Judas and he calls him friend.
Yeah. That's good.
And he already knows what Judas is going to do. Right. And then then he's talking to Peter, who's like not going to betray him and is his friend. But he's telling him like, get behind me, Satan, because he's in his way. He's not even doing anything like slapping him, or, you know what I'm saying? Physical.
Jesus.
Yeah. He's literally thinks he's doing good. And Jesus is like, no, you're not doing what you're called to do or whatever. And so just thinking of that is, if Jesus is willing to do that, you know, he's talking to somebody he knows that's going to betray him, and then talking to his friend and telling him like, look, you're not, in a very stern way, but you're not doing the right thing. You need to check yourself.
Yeah.
That's leadership.
Yeah.
So
exactly. I that message last night was so good.
Yeah.
But like I've never read it like that, where he called Judas friend. Like the second that like the betrayal was like set in stone, boom, he's doing it. He is betraying me, even though Jesus knew it was going to happen. It was happening in that very second, and in that moment, he called him friend.
Yeah,
it was like he, and I don't think in that moment Jesus, I think in that moment Jesus was genuinely hurt, like the guy said last night. He was hurt by that. That was his friend who he did ministry with for 3 years, and he called him his friend, and it was like he was forcing himself to I don't want to say like kill that part of him, or like, you know, shove that down. Like he was feeling those emotions, but he still acted like forgave him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was an action. He was doing it.
He understood the bigger will of God.
Yeah.
And knew what that was.
Yeah.
If you think about when he was washing their feet. So just to kind of continue that is, he literally knew he was being betrayed. He knew he was going to die and suffer first and then die. He's still talking about living sacrificially. He could have been like in those moments like, oh, guys, you know, prep me up tight, you know, like, oh, I need this and that. Go get me some water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just go do this for me and all that. But
rub
no,
my back.
Exactly.
You know.
Prep me up. And he still literally knelt down and washed their feet, which was in that time the lowest thing that you could do, basically. I mean, that was for servants, dirty feet. And he did that for them. So, I mean, as we know, he's the ultimate guide to like what we need to follow, the ultimate model, I should say. But,
oh man,
yeah,
that's crazy. In the lowest moment of his life, his action was to serve his friends.
Yeah,
was to love his friends. Oh my gosh, man. And I like the lowest moment of my life. It's but like I'm trying to like wrap my mind around like, okay, right now I think I'm gonna die tomorrow. I know for a fact I'm gonna die tomorrow. I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying like hypothetically, like I know I'm going to die tomorrow. What's my next step? Like I'm probably gonna go spend a bunch of money and
Do
eat
stuff for you.
Yeah, eat the best meal I want to eat.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go tell people, hey, I'm dying tomorrow. Let's go do some fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, like that's just what we would do. That's what we're geared towards. And you think about Jesus, he served us. That's crazy, man. That's cool.
You just living sacrificially. I'm going to shift a little bit. I feel like just because you a big thing in our world also is greed with things. It can be things or money or whatever, but man, we're so just like tithing. If you want to, we could bring it to that. Is like that's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
To tithe.
Oh yeah.
And the way a lot of us, especially in America, look at finances is like, man, you mean I got to give 10% of mine? But it's not even ours anyway. But and this comes to a heart posture. If you just live in a mindset of it's not mine.
Oh yeah.
And not just be so consumed of like, what can I get? I can, you start giving out money. It's funny how it works, but you start giving out more and it just keeps coming in. You know, we've talked about this before, being a conduit, it just keeps coming.
Yeah.
But Romans 12:2, and I don't have it to read verbatim, but it's do not be conformed to this world, the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Yeah.
And that ties into living sacrificially.
Well, read the
self-centered.
You can read the first verse of that too.
You got it.
Yeah, I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. That's Romans 12:1, and then 2 is the one that you read.
Yeah,
and it's your body is a sacrifice. Your body is literally not yours. Mm-hmm. Once the Holy Spirit enters your body, you are a vessel. You are literally a conduit. Like you're like it shouldn't be you doing stuff anymore, basically. And I know that like I know I mean obviously it's still you doing stuff, but like it's really not. Like you're the Holy Spirit is literally changing you. Yeah.
That's fun. It's funny to think you just I've never really thought about it this way, but you like you said I don't remember the other verse, but you the Spirit's acting through me, right? And we talk about this a lot as especially like in small groups and different things where when your will is aligned with His and your spirit's aligned with His, or that's your like if my goal, which it is, my ultimate goal is to do everything that He wants me to do. And there's times where we've talked about where you do certain actions and it's like, I don't even know what I was saying. You know what I mean? And so He's acting through us. Well, if He's acting through me to help you and you're aligned with Him and you're praying and you're doing, what I believe you're supposed to do, He's going to work through you to maybe help me or help somebody else, and they're going to help me. And everybody is working for each other.
Yeah.
And instead of everybody working for self, and that's why we have a lot of the trouble that we have.
Yeah.
So I never thought about that He could work through you to actually give me what I need.
Yeah.
Instead of me trying to use you to get what I need. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's hard to explain there, but I mean, just everybody working for the good of those around you. It's a verse. I just can't come up with it right now.
That's pretty dead on. Well, another passage that comes to my mind is Joseph in the Bible. It's the coat of many colors. That Joseph, not Jesus's dad, but you know, Joseph from like day one, you know, I think it's in Genesis. Man, I haven't read this in a long time, but I just remember the story. You know, he was betrayed by his brothers. He was beaten because they were jealous of him because he was his dad's favorite. And so they beat him, sold him into slavery, and he went and was a slave in Egypt to one of Pharaoh, like one of the people that worked for Pharaoh, but was still pretty high up. I forgot who it was. Excuse me. And then, you know, all these things happen, and he became like, he was like one of the top slaves. Like he whatever he did, like he was working really hard. And so like he, you know, he became the best slave or whatever. And then, you know, this woman, I guess it was one of the wives, it was the wife of the slave owner or something like that. You know, accused him of trying to sleep with her, and he wouldn't do it. And so he got thrown into prison. And then in the prison, he became like the best prisoner, the hardest working prisoner, and you know, rose in the ranks there and was interpreting dreams to his friends there. Like he was just constantly like it didn't matter what his circumstance was, like he was working.
He just kept going.
Yeah, and he was doing it to serve God. Like he was serving God, and he was like, it was constantly like it wasn't about him. Like it didn't matter where he was in life. He was going to do the will of God, and God used that. And so eventually, I think it was, God, I'm gonna butcher this, but like I think it was Pharaoh had a dream or something, and one of the guys that was in the prison with Joseph became the cupbearer of Pharaoh, and was like, hey, there was this guy I met in prison. He's like, he can interpret your dream. So he got him out, and he helped him. Like he interpreted Pharaoh's dream, and all of a sudden he rose in the ranks with Pharaoh too.
Yeah.
And, you know, so much that he became like really high in command. And then eventually his brothers came back around, and he was able to, you know, lead his brothers, you know, to God. And it was just an awesome story. But it was just like, man, it like none of that story ever, you know, you never really see Joseph being selfish.
Right.
You know, and it's just like God used that the entire time. He used that. You know, and I think if we just position our lives around, man, it's really not about me. If we have a right view of God, I think too, then we're really that's gonna be our perspective.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and it just so kind of what it looks like today. You know, it says saying no to a promotion that would damage your family. So like, or just things like that. So, you have to really be in alignment with the will. So, in the will of God for you. And the only way you can do that is just between you and God and praying. You can have all these other people telling you, yeah, you need to do that. Oh man, that would be awesome. You know, especially if you're talking about like a promotion or something.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of people that say they're sacrificing for their family, and I'm not trying to downplay this either.
Yeah.
I understand certain situations, but a lot of people say they're sacrificing for their family, but like to provide for a better life for them, but they're talking financially, like so they can have a nicer house or a car or whatever, or toys or something. Just in my like very straightforward opinion, that's not providing better for your family.
Yeah.
Providing better for your family, you can live in a tent.
Yeah.
And as long as you're feeding them, or really ultimately, as long as you're seeking God.
Yeah. Leading
Your family to God and praying to God, and that's your ultimate goal, or that's your ultimate job description on earth, is to disciple others, especially your family.
Yeah.
Something that Jeffrey said one time that really stuck with me is God made a family before he made a steeple. And so that's another thing. People use the church or church events and different things, and they're so tied up in all that, and they forget about
Leave the family behind. Yep.
And you can also get tied up in all that, just doing like actions and not actually knowing Jesus. That's what he said last night too.
That's really good.
We can do. I love that he said you have a cross tattoo across your whole front of your body and not even know Jesus. You know. So and I'm not like trying to talk bad. I'm saying like legitimately people just get caught up in it. It's not like I'm not saying they're like a bad person. They just get caught up in doing things, and it's typically for self because you get, hey, I did this, kind of blows your head up a little bit, and you just get caught up in that. That's all. It's like a cycle.
Can you think of any like practical way? Because like a big shock to me whenever I became a Christian was like, okay, I say a big shock. Like, I mean, I kind of knew it in the back of my head, but it was something I really didn't want to do. Was like, I have to give up all this stuff, and I have to like giving up all the stuff that I love to do, and then learning to be sensitive to the Spirit, like learning to listen to the Spirit rather than listening to myself. And so I guess like what I'm asking is like, do you know of any like practical ways to, I guess, submit to the Spirit? You know what I mean? Like, are there any ways like examples in your life that you can think of that like, man, I really wanted to go this way, but I felt like, and I know you can't, I'm kind of setting you up, but like, are there any ways that like, I could have gone this way. It would have been really good for Zach and for, the Bennett family, but I felt like the Spirit was telling me to do this, and I really, really, really wanted this, but I just couldn't, I submitted to this.
Yeah. Well, so the most obvious one that a lot of people know about, I guess, and I'm only sharing this because you ask, but so I did it again.
Punch it.
So the one that comes to mind, and I'm sharing this because you ask, and I think it's just, people are like, why do you believe in God? Well, this right here, what I'm about to say is one of the second ranked reason, I guess you could say. The first is the experience that I had. Right. Obviously, that's you're not going to change my mind. But a way that I could, if you want to say a testimony I could share, would be us living in Mississippi, wanting to build the house. I mean, just people talk about a gravy job, and we could go into that, but a gravy job to people is what I had. Mm-hmm. And so you have that, you got the job, bought land and about to build a house, like everything's looking good, you know. And hindsight's always 20/20. So I'm on the other side of this, so I'm saying all this, but at the time, like, dude, we're about to build a house.
Oh yeah, it's happening.
All this stuff for us, it's just everything's like for us.
Yeah,
and just feeling that nudge. And just quite honestly, I didn't really understand all this at the time. Mm-hmm. I just, I guess God was just so convincing or overwhelming to me at the time that I guess He had to do that, because of where I was at.
Yeah.
And telling me, no, you need to give all this up, move home. It kind of reminds me of the I guess it's exactly like the scriptures where He asked that rich young ruler to give everything up, sell everything, and roll out. Yeah. And again, I'm not tooting my own horn or nothing, because it ain't me anyway. But we literally gave all that up and come back to home just because we were led to. Had no idea about anything, which is so cool to look back. But had no idea what anything was going to look like. We didn't know honestly didn't know how much money we were going to make, nothing. And where we were going. We didn't even have anywhere to live. We actually lived with in-laws for a little bit. And so I'll try to shorten that up. So living over there, have everything, get called to move back. Don't even understand what that even means. We move back and then just living, just showing up to church, doing, I say showing up to church. Obviously I go to church, but doing church like every day, with small groups and stuff.
Yeah.
Learning about all that. And then, in the end, everything's better than it ever could have been. And I don't mean that like, dude, everything.
More money than,
I'm just saying like, just even what's crazy is even in the struggles, we still understand something's being learned.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh my God, we're going through this.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we got to go through this. Let's learn it, and we're going to come out on the other side.
Yeah.
You just kind of get this. Once you've been through a few things, you just kind of understand, like, you got to do it.
Yeah.
It's just part of life.
Yeah. And I'm asking a bunch of questions. I'm setting you up, but I kind of like, because I kind of know what your answer is going to be. But, I mean, you own, and I'm not bragging on, like, I'm bragging on you, but it's also like, I know it's not you. I know it's the Spirit in you. And like, I know Zach Bennett wouldn't have made the decisions without the Spirit in you. You know what I mean? And so, but like, I mean, you own you run two businesses. You're a full-time Christian, you're a full-time dad, full-time husband, full-time electrician, business owner, all the things. You're running and gunning 24/7 pretty much. And, I can imagine there's some stress wrapped up in that. There's some, sleepless nights involved in that. There's a lot of intentionality. There's a lot of places where you have to have your hands in just about everything at all times, and multiple things at one time often. And like I'm saying, I can imagine there's a lot of stress wrapped up in that. But how much peace do you feel? Regardless of that, just because like, man, I'm in God's will.
Yeah. And that's, again, I'm on the other side of several things, so it's a lot different answer right now.
Sure.
But I guess I could give the answer for now is I almost am just like, I'm not gonna say I'm not numb to stuff, but I'm prepared, I guess, because it goes back to the dude I told you the other day. The guy said, yeah, let's get our armor on and go. It's like, well, and the guy was like, hold up. He literally on stage, he's like, hold up, wait, when did you take your armor off?
Yeah.
Like, why? Why'd you do that? And
Mm-hmm.
so that's what it makes me think of. It's
Yeah.
like, you've got to constantly, I've got to constantly, we've all got to constantly be in the Word,
Renew your mind.
not just reading it, but literally. Same thing the dude said on stage yesterday or the day before. He said, you can't just read it and not do anything. You got to do something, like, and the time is like right now.
Yep.
Not, well, I'll do that when I get X, Y, or Z. You just do it right now. So
yep.
I understand that, things are going to come up. I mean, like you said, it is 24/7. So what happened is renew it. If I do that again, we're getting wireless mics. I don't know. Somebody sponsor us, please. Let me think of what I was even saying now. Squirrel. No. So if things come up, and because they're gonna come up, just things are always gonna happen. So you just constantly have to be praying. And when things come up, you got to immediately seek, okay, God, is this there? You got basically almost every decision you got one way or the other. So, my flesh wants me to say or do this, but like, God, is that truly what is that what you want, or is that what I want?
Yeah, exactly.
And so you got a lot of decisions, especially as a business owner. And I have to be really careful because I'm a people observer.
Mm-hmm.
So I watch a lot of things, and this is something new for me that I'm learning is to, my walk's not everybody else's walk. I just have to do what it's between me and God, and I have
Sure.
to do what I have to do. I let other people's actions discourage me sometimes, but anyway, that's what I'm saying is that, especially as a business owner, you have to really understand it ain't about you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm.
So what I'm getting at is my mindset shifted from, okay, I'm building ZB Electric up to, okay, well, I'm just managing, and this happened a long time ago, but I'm just
Yeah.
managing the ZB Electric for God. So like, he's got to tell me what to do, and then I need to do that, or I'm not a good employee.
Yeah.
That's
right.
That's it's just a mindset thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think that was an overnight thing, and I think, you always have to look for that next step. Like, okay. And one, I guess one thing that like I could do as a person, or you could do as a person, is just be like, okay, God, I'm at work right now, or I'm in the car right now, or I'm in, Chick-fil-A right now, whatever. Use me. Like, how, like, is there any way you want to use me right now? Like, I'm here. Like, my goal is to be in submission to you, and for you to listen to that, and for you to look for moments, like look for time, and don't make it about you. Like, don't sit there and try to like muster up like this crazy story, or this, like you're going to share the gospel and you're going to say no. Like, be submissive to the Spirit and allow Him to, kind of give you little inklings into like, okay, what should I say? Like, how should I react to this? And constantly be in the Word. And I think the more that you do that, the more that you're submissive to what God's telling you. Like, I heard this pastor say one time, he was going to the chiropractor one day, and on his way to it was like his second or third time going to this chiropractor, and the lady at the front desk, he didn't even know her name. Like, he didn't know anything about this lady. He'd just seen her 2 or 3 times whenever he was going in for his appointment, and excuse me, and he was driving to the chiropractor, and he was like, he felt like God wanted him to tell that lady that her daughter was going to be okay. He didn't even know. He didn't know if she had a daughter. He didn't know anything, and he was like, I don't know anything about this lady. And then that kind of clicked him, like, maybe there's something going on here. Maybe God is actually talking to me. So he walked in, and at first he didn't really want to do anything. He went in for his chiropractor appointment. He was walking out, and she was talking to somebody, so he's like, oh, I missed my opportunity, dang. And he got back in his truck, and then, he felt like God was telling him, like, are we going to do this, or are you going to do this? Like, what's going on? So he walked back in, and he said, hey, I'm sorry. I don't mean to, I don't want to be reckless with this. I feel like the Spirit or God's telling me to ask you, or to tell you that your daughter's going to be okay. And then she just broke down, and he didn't know anything about this lady. And, there's, you got to be careful with that. Obviously, like, you want to be that one. You
don't want to be mustering that up just for you to look like you're a spiritual person.
Yeah. You want to wrap that in humility, and you want to be very, very cautious whenever you go through that. It's, because you're, God, you just want to be humble about it. But, in that moment, he submitted to it. Like, he risked, embarrassing himself, or, he was selfless in that moment.
Yeah.
And, and it wasn't about him. It was about, letting God use him.
Yeah.
And, God got his point across to that lady by using him. And, I think the more that we do that, the more that we, just look for those times, and I think obviously I think we have to be careful, because we can, conjure up, some crazy stories to tell people, and, it can get reckless. But, just always be looking for opportunities for God to use you.
Yeah. And you got to be, like you just said, this is really important, is if he does, one thing is make sure he's doing it, not you wanting to do it. Like, because Just like something I'm going through right now, the main thing that you don't want to do is make it like, oh, well, this happened and this happened and this happened. It's got to be God. No, it doesn't have to be. It may just be happening. You know, those things might be happening. You might be putting all that together yourself.
Yeah.
So just like, you know, something like that, when you go talk to somebody, don't turn around and post it on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And hey, look what I did. Let me say, and probably just like this guy, a lot of people, you have to tell a testimony. I understand that. Like, but putting on Facebook that you bought this whole family new shoes and clothes is not, in my opinion, and maybe it is, it's all about the heart. So, but what I'm saying is you can't just go, you know, buy a family all new clothes or something for Christmas, then post it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, you might have blessed that family, but you're a blessing. We're all looking for the fruit of the Spirit, whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
We're looking for joy and peace and patience and all that stuff. And you don't get it by asking for that. You get it by doing stuff. And then God gives you that.
Yeah.
And so just like you said, that guy going and talking to that lady, how much joy do you think he got out of that afterwards?
Yeah.
You know? And not only that, but moving closer to God by actually being obedient.
Yeah. Think of how close he probably felt to God too. Like imagine like, man, God's I felt like God was telling me to do this. I did it. Like, man, God told me to do this and I did it. And it like, and it's not about him, but it's like, man, like he's talking to me. He's using me.
Yeah.
Yes. You know,
Well, it's like a reassurance. Like, okay, I'm
here we go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's almost like when the disciples went and you know, and were doing healings, but it wasn't them, but God through them.
Dude,
you know how powerful they had to feel, you know, and it's like, you know, and just like the prayer, the pastor last night talked about the prayer of the lady. There was a lady's husband, I believe, had cancer, or they said he had cancer.
Yeah.
Went in they prayed on Sunday, went in the next day, and they were like, we have no idea what's here,
happened.
but it's not cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, and a lot of people say, well, that's coincidence. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Living sacrificially.
I love this topic. It's hard to do. It's definitely a muscle you have to train. It's not something that comes in easy. And it's definitely something like a lot of people think that, like, you know, once you're saved, like you're just automatically going to be used by God in all these different ways. And it's like, no, you got to like, you have
preaching to millions and
you literally have to work at it. And, you know, the pastor last night was giving credit to Pastor Tom. I liked how he did that. Like, you know, you don't get a college degree by accident. You don't, you know, he's giving all these examples. You don't get a good marriage by accident. Like, people don't have a great lineage like Pastor Tom and Sister Trina by accident. Like, that takes work.
Yeah.
Like Pastor
sacrificed.
Tom. Yeah. It's just it's years and years and years of being a servant.
Yeah.
And leading your family and being submissive to the Spirit, you know. Yeah. And I don't think that he was saying, like, look at this big church that Pastor Tom has now.
I don't either.
You know, I just think that, like, man, look at the fruit that has come from Pastor Tom being submissive to God and allowing God to use him Pastor Tom just being a conduit for God. Yeah. Look at the fruit that's been produced from that, you know? Yeah. And so it you know,
and that started, I don't know about, I only know to the Pastor Tom's dad. Now, obviously I don't know their whole story or anything, but I only know about to that man is what I'm saying. And he was talking about generational cures. So I don't know what was going on before that in their family. But you look at, we always hear about generational curses. So you look at that Pastor Tom's dad, I don't know his name, but you think about the sacrifice he did. And Pastor Tom has talked about this, but think about that sacrifice and he wasn't doing it like they didn't have what it is now, you know, and they did that and then passed it to Pastor Tom, and he sacrificed time and his, you know, because he was off on another career path before he come in.
Right.
And, you know, so they've sacrificed to do it. And then now people look at it now and be like, oh, well, must be nice to have all this. But, dude, you have no idea what they had to go through, you know?
Yeah. And Pastor Ryan is killing it. He was awesome.
Oh,
and it's just like, and Pastor, you know, by what I've seen, like Pastor Ryan's a really good leader too, you know, and it's just, that doesn't come easy, man. No. Like it's hard to practice, to exercise that muscle and to be submissive to the Spirit.
Yeah.
And,
this is some practical ways, just daily sacrifice would be, we all like to sleep. Waking up early, you know, wake up 30 minutes early, read the Bible, and pray. Again, you have to read the Bible, pray about what you read, ask God to give you something there. And then like you just said, pray to God and ask for chances or opportunities to be vulnerable, which means just like the guy, like, hey, God, lead me to talk to somebody, you know, let me do that for you. And not for me, but for you.
Yeah.
And then when he does lead you to it, do it. And then it's going to be really awkward. I mean, it's going to be weird for a few times. And then you're going to be like, whoa, like this is really happening.
And don't take the credit for it.
Yes. And don't be like, man, I was at the chiropractor today. And,
guess what
and I'm
I
not
did?
saying that guy, I understand, again, you got to tell testimony. But what I mean is immediately do it and then go to Facebook and be like, man, I was in the chiropractor today and God led me to talk to this lady. And, you know, that's something you share in a sermon or a small group or something, you know.
Testimony.
Yeah. So, ooh, this is good. Choose presence over productivity in your home. So,
wow,
that could be with work or anything, though.
Ouch.
Wow,
man.
I gotta clean the yard, clean the house, do all this. Well, just, you know,
be there.
Spend some time with some people there. Yeah.
Wow,
that's good.
That's good.
Contentment over comparison. Sometimes, or a lot of times, being content with what you have is sacrificing something. You could buy that new boat, but you could also use that money to do something else, you know. And we talked about this before. I hadn't been, and I'm just saying, you give up some of your extracurricular activities like golfing and fishing and stuff sometimes to do other things.
Yeah.
And
comparison is the hardest thing to get over. I'm telling you, for me. That's definitely something I need to work on.
And that's what talking about the me page on social media. That's, a lot of times that's what that's about.
Yep.
Hey, I did this trip and, oh man, but they were, I forget her name. Rachel Cruz talks about she was literally out of the country on vacation with her family or with her husband, and scrolling and saw somebody doing something else and was like, man, that must be nice. She was like, I was literally out of the country with my husband and I'm looking at somebody else and it took the joy of my trip.
Wow.
And so, comparison is a thief.
Yeah. Yes.
Sacrificing life, bro. Not being self-centered. It ain't about you. Us. I wasn't talking to you. It ain't about you either.
Sawyer.
But yeah, and it sounds so like negative and heavy kind of.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's the thing about it. It's actually more fulfilling to help others than to do everything for yourself.
Yeah, you're right. And it starts in the little parts of your day, waking up first thing in the morning, reading the Bible, waking up early part is the hardest, for me. That's a really hard part, dragging myself out of bed, that's automatically like, is this about me? Is this about me being tired or is this about me growing closer to God? You just gotta answer these little questions throughout the day, making your bed, praying over your wife, praying over your spouse, texting somebody when you're thinking about them.
That's a big one.
Yeah. And, just like, man, and not even waiting on God to, tell you to do something. Like, just constantly be like loving people.
Yeah.
Every little thing matters, And I think the more that you submit to that and you open yourself up to that, the easier it's going to be to hear God. I think you're gonna realize, man, that voice has been there all along.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't been listening to it. I've kind of tuned it out, and now that I'm just like looking for it, and I'm just answering, I'm just saying yes to it all the time. I hear it more, and like it's opening up to me, and God's gonna use you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. I could say a lot more about that, but
this is one of the easiest topics to talk about.
Yeah.
That's why we picked it at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So practical things would be waking up early, like you said, and then just literally praying before you come across an opportunity, pray for an opportunity. And then when it comes, and you feel that urge to say something, that little gut feeling or nudge to say or text somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be in person. If a name comes across your head, you can easily be like, I ain't thought about him in a while, and keep going. But you could also be like, wait, maybe I'm just going to send him a message. Hey man, how you doing? Or hey, it's been a while. Just making sure you're all right.
Yeah.
That simple. And you never know what that simple message could do. I've heard plenty of testimonies of people getting phone calls or text messages right at the time they were about to do something crazy.
Oh.
Wow.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now we get to go work.
Can I go home and go to sleep?
Yeah. We get a nap. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody listening, man. This is, again, I say it all the time, but it's a joy to do this. This is, we learn a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we're learning as we do this. So
this is awesome. Yeah. It's forcing me to dig in deeper, and I love it.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. And the feedback, I say this like every time, but man, the feedback from people just talking and asking us questions about that or giving feedback about, hey, you should do this or that. I really like that. Like a lot of people are probably nervous to do that, but I actually love feedback.
Yeah, I love it.
Want to grow. So
exactly.
Keep it coming. We love y'all. And thank you for joining in for some truth in the trenches.
Yeah. We love y'all so much.